Today I want to talk about what is the purpose of Air Force basic training. You're going to get to Air Force basic training and you're going to be like, what did I get myself into? Here's the purpose. My opinion, my experience is the Air Force is going to bring in a whole bunch of individuals, usually about 50 per flight or so, guys separated from the girls. And they're going to break you down. They're going to shock you, break you down from an individual for at least the 8 weeks, 6 weeks of training. Sometimes it fluctuates. And then they're going to build you right back up as a flight. So when I say they're going to break you down, you're still going to be your own individual person. But for those 6 to 8 weeks, they want to break you down from who you are. They want you to focus on what they tell you to do, how they tell you to do it, to see if you can do it. Of course, there's going to be some individuals that are going to say, you know what, I just can't adapt to this, and it's not for me, either by choice or physical demands or mental demands. They will be eventually weeded out. I don't say that in a bad way, but the Air Force needs to invest in individuals who are going to be able to do what the Air Force wants us to do. And it begins with small things that we can't get right for whatever reason at basic training. Example is they want you to, sweep, and then you miss something. They're going to catch it. They want you to fold your clothing a certain way or roll up your clothing a certain way to see if you can pay attention to detail. And on the small things, those are very small things. They're not going to, if you pass or fail, it's not going to end someone's life. But they're preparing you so in the future, when you're in the operational Air Force doing your job, that whatever it is that you're supposed to do, your job, that you can do, that you can focus. Basic training is an environment that I really enjoyed back in 1996 when I was there. You're there with 50 people, like I said, in your flight, and you're going to team build. That's very important in the Air Force. You're going to team build with strangers, people you don't know. Eventually, some of these strangers become your friends, or some of them become people that you can't stand. But your time in the Air Force, especially basic training, it's an environment that is not the norm in the world, because they're going to tell you when to wake up, when to go to sleep. You lose your freedom. They'll tell you when you can eat, and you have to do a lot of things. Sometimes what they do is they give you more than you can handle just to see how you handle that stressful environment. The good news is that if you've made it to Air Force basic training, either you have your strengths where you succeed, and on the areas where you have weaknesses, you find a wingman, an individual that's going to help you. In 1996, when I went through the Air Force basic training, I had one individual and we became really good friends. And in fact, I had dinner with him just 3 weeks ago, 23 years after. After basic training, you go to your technical training, which is your job. That could be a month long, it could be 6 months long. It depends on your job. Once you finish technical training, then that's when you're going to go to your first base to do your job. And of course, you're going to have upgrade training, and you're going to have on-the-job training. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to succeed in the Air Force, especially if you want to, especially if you apply yourself. So the purpose of basic training is to mold you professionally how the Air Force wants you to be molded. You can succeed. It's an environment that you will most likely never ever go back to again. An exception is if you go from enlisted to officer and you have a similar field training experience, or at the Air Force Academy, or at OTS. Make the most of your time at basic training, and you're going to have some good friends that you meet there.